It's 6 p.m. on Saturday the 20th of August, and welcome to our Saturday evening news programme, and coming to you live from the heart of Wyke, Regis. And in the news this week, a brand new giant mural trail has officially opened in Weymouth on Monday across several locations, and has turned the town into a giant canvas. And we can see a picture there up on the screen. The brand new artworks make up the Weymouth Mural Trail, which is a partnership between Weymouth Town Council and We Are Weymouth, featuring a range of unique artworks by several local and UK-based artists. Some of the artists behind the murals joined councillors from Weymouth Town Council and representatives from We Are Weymouth at one of the murals on Trinity Road to help launch the trail on Monday. Visitors and residents alike can see the talents of local and UK artists making their mark on the beautiful Dorset coastal town with their unique and signature styles. Locations featuring in the trail range from Overcombe in the north to the town centre and South Harborside, just to name a few. There are plaques next to each artwork with a QR code that can be scanned to find out more about the murals and the artists who created them. And if you want to find out more information, there is a special page, the Weymouth Mural Trail page, which sits on the Weymouth Town Council website at www.weymouthtown-council.gov.uk/Weymouth-mural-trail. Right, moving on. Initiatives to protect women and girls from violence in Weymouth will continue to operate after almost £250,000 of funding has been secured. Safer Streets will see more CCTV cameras installed to get greater street coverage. A safe space will continue to operate as a sanctuary for women and girls, and more work to prevent and support women who have been subjected to stalking and harassment. The money will help improve the safety of Weymouth throughout the day and for the nights out. The Council's Community and Public Protection Service works with Weymouth Town Council, Dorset Police, Weymouth Street Pastors and St Mary's Church in St Mary Street, which is used as a haven for medical and other support services for vulnerable women and girls. The church location also provides services to help in the event of illness or injury, alcohol or drug misuse, victims of crime and people who become separated from friends or just get in emotional distress. Paragon's Stalking Clinic will also benefit from the funds, providing an administrator who will respond to all inquiries and referrals from victims of stalking and a colleague who will deliver new stalking awareness training. Paragon is commissioned by the council to provide domestic abuse services for women, men and for children locally. In addition, the CCTV cameras in areas of previous poor coverage will improve perceived levels of safety, which can affect women and girls' feelings of safety and well-being, whether they are alone or with others, at day or at night. There have been more rail strikes this week, including today, and rail operators are urging customers to only travel by train if absolutely necessary over the strike period, which runs through and affects services through until tomorrow. Customers planning summer days out are advised to make alternative travel arrangements. Although the strike days are actually Thursday and today, trains on Sunday will also start much later and be much busier than usual across the network. The train operators have been operating a limited service on strike days, but services have only been coming as close as Southampton on most strike days, so train users in Weymouth and across Dorset have been completely cut off. The train operators urge everyone at this time to check for the latest information before attempting any travel. The 25th Weldmore Hospice Care Summer Fete takes place in the Meadow and Gardens of the charity's inpatient unit in Dorset on Saturday the 10th of September, and it's being supported this year by HSBC UK. It will be the first time the event will have taken place since the pandemic, which caused it to be cancelled for the first time in its history. The ever-popular nurses' stall will be staffed by nurses from the hospice and community teams. There will be lots of other games, stalls and activities, as well as music and entertainment, plenty of food and drink, and the silent auction will also be returning. New attractions this year include animals from the ranch, forest school activities, children's entertainer pop-ins, and even virtual gaming. Entertainment will be provided by singers Tony Lowe and Andy Collett and dancers from the Studio and Broadway Boogie. The entry fee remains at just £2 for adults, with children going free, and a free shuttle bus service will be running to the event from Market Car Park in Dorchester. Now, the Weymouth Hospice Care Summer Fete is from 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock at Herringston Road at the Weymouth Hospice on Saturday the 10th of September. So just be aware that is the same day as the Tour of Britain, going through part of the route by where the fete will be. So put the date in your diary now. If you want more information, go to weymouthhospicecare.org and you'll find out everything you want to know there. Now, staying with the Tour of Britain, we've just mentioned it there with Weymouth. Dorset Council has published the following information ahead of the Tour of Britain Stage 7, which is due to visit Dorset for the first ever time on Saturday the 10th of September. It promises to be an exciting day of cycle racing. Everything you need to know can be found on the Tour of Britain website, and there's a full Stage 7 map which gives you all the details and all the projected times. But estimated timings of the Tour on Saturday the 10th and where it will be are as follows. It starts on the Esplanade in West Bay at 11 AM. Burton Bradstock 11:15, Abbotsbury 11:26, Chickerell 11:38, Weymouth 11:41, and then Dorchester 12:06. Then it goes across the rest of Dorset, ending up in Ferndown in Victoria Road at 3 PM. Now, all locations have not been mentioned, so do check the map to see if it passes close by you and at what time. Some top tips for spectators: take note of the stage route, road closures and race timings because they may affect you. Grab a safe spectator spot early and enjoy the build up to the peloton arriving. There will be an advanced vehicle 15 minutes ahead of the race, keeping you up to date with what is happening on the Tour of Britain. You're asked not to obstruct the riders in any way and keep children and animals back from the roadside. The whole stage will be live on TV on ITV4, and they will be showing flag-to-flag live coverage of the entire stage plus a nightly highlights programme bringing you all the best bits of the day's action. Now, the road closures, it's going to be a rolling road closure system. This means that the police are moving in front of the event and closing the roads down and escorting the race. The good news, it means that the road should only be shut for 30 minutes maximum to allow the race to pass safely. So do watch out for that. And don't forget, it is a major international race. It's Britain's largest free sporting event. And it's coming through Dorset, and it's coming into the outskirts of Weymouth and Dorchester and Abbotsbury and Chickerell. So it's an ideal opportunity for you to get involved and watch a national sporting event. So that's the Tour of Britain on the 10th of September. Now, messages from Dorset Police this week, and a few things that they want some help with this week. The officers are appealing for witnesses to come forward following a burglary at an address in Weymouth. Sometime between 11:30 and 3:45 PM on Monday the 8th of August, entry was gained to an address in Wayview Crescent and a quantity of cash was stolen. Also, officers are investigating a suspected arson in Weymouth and are appealing for witnesses. 5:20 AM on Monday the 15th of August, the fire service attended a fire at the Dorset Council offices in Jubilee Retail Park. A preliminary investigation suggests that the fire was started intentionally in the main entrance of the offices, and they believe the fire was started between 4 AM and 5:15 AM. Also, officers appealing for a motorcyclist involved in a failed to stop injury collision in Portersham to come forward. Dorset Police was called at 11:32 on Sunday the 14th of August to reports of a road traffic collision on the B3157 at Goose Hill involving two motorcycles that were travelling westbound towards Abbotsbury. It's reported the rider of one of the motorcycles failed to stop at the scene, and an investigation is underway to identify and locate them. The rider of the other motorcycle, a man aged in his 20s, sustained serious injuries and was taken to hospital for treatment. His condition is not described as life-threatening or life-changing. And the road was blocked for some time while emergency vehicles dealt with the incident. And finally, from Dorset Police, officers investigated a collision involving two cars in Weymouth are appealing for witnesses. 11:41 on Sunday the 14th of August, Dorset Police were called to reports of two-vehicle collision on Newstead Road near to the Asda store involving a red Toyota Yaris and a black Vauxhall Zafira. The ambulance and fire service also attended. The driver of the Yaris, a man is aged in his 30s, sustained serious back injuries and was taken to hospital. Again, his injuries are not described as life-threatening. Now, if you know anything about any of those incidents, you've got any CCTV or dashcam footage, as usual, do get in touch with Dorset Police on 101. Or if you wish to give information anonymously, you can do that through the Crime Stoppers charity by calling 0800 555 111. A holiday hunger club has secured more funding to support families in Weymouth. The Good Grub Club at Top Club in Littlemore will receive a share of £56,000 following a partnership between a housing provider and local organisers. The club was set up in 2017 by ABRI to tackle food inequality during the school holidays and combat social isolation. It's already helped hundreds of families with free meals, free activities and sharing low-cost meals that taste great and provide the nutrition that everyone needs. ABRI has now partnered with local organisations to expand the club into more communities and support even more people. ABRI has provided £56,000 from its partnership fund to the 6 organisations to run the Good Grub for the next 12 months. The clubs will be run locally at the Littlemore by Top Club. After each school holiday, ABRI will work with the local organisations to understand how the club is impacting customers and communities and what other support might be needed. Now, moving on. Let's get the right picture up. Here we go. An ocean-themed spectacular featuring a 9-foot-high illuminated fish is set to take to the streets of Weymouth. Following on from the success of Dusk Till Dark last year, Activate and Inside Out Dorset are bringing the spectacular event back on Friday, September the 23rd and Saturday, September the 24th. Dusk Till Dark is a free event bringing an ocean adventure theme to one of the most popular seaside towns in the country. Described as a spellbinding parade inside an underwater world, the event will feature luminescent sea creatures, giant fish and a gigantic bicycle-powered wizardry. Kate Wood, who is the director of Activate, said, "We have a summer of fishy-themed workshops across the area, building up to the performances, and Saruga is a fabulous company from Barcelona, which is excited to bring the fabulous parade show here in September." This year's event follows on from the success of 2021, where a giant illuminated puppet named Dundu explored the town, accompanied by dynamic drumming from world beaters. The showcase is organised in partnership with We Are Weymouth and Weymouth Town Council. Artworks and puppets are created during the Activate summer workshops, and they will be displayed in shops throughout the window. To be displayed in shop windows throughout the town in the run-up to the event. There we go. A community garden will be officially opened at a family fun day. The fun day will take place at Top Club Field in Littlemore, Weymouth on Sunday, August the 28th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. It will be hosted by Weymouth Town Council and Big Four Littlemore and will see residents celebrating the new growing gardens, which will be opened by Weymouth Mayor Anne Weaving at 2:30 p.m. Some trees have already been planted in the gardens, with plans to also incorporate some raised flower beds, a bug hotel and a composting area for the community. The community event will include live music and entertainment, face painting, a bouncy castle, a tombola, a display of vintage vehicles, a magician, craft sessions and other activities and games. There will also be a raffle in support of the youth club. There will be information displays and stands at the event, giving people the chance to find out more about Weymouth Town Council services and projects. Now, if you want to know more about that or any of the other events that Weymouth Town Council are involved in, pop along to the Weymouth Town Council website at www.weymouthtown.council.gov.uk/events. Now, if you're looking for something different and fun and exciting to do during the holidays, that will suit all ages, then you don't want to break the bank, then there are 2 great free events taking place in Dorchester over the August bank holiday weekend. Firstly, the super popular open air cinema event is back. This is happening on Saturday the 27th of August and is being held at the amazing Roman Amphitheatre, Maunbury Rings. That's just on the right as you go into Dorset, just over the railway bridge, and there on the right. There are 2 classic films being shown. The visually gorgeous Moana at 2 p.m, followed by the original Back to the Future at 5:30 p.m. That'll be good. During the interval, there will be live music from the amazing 8-piece band The Skeletons, bringing a laid-back Latin vibe to the afternoon. Entrance is free, and there will be a fab stone-baked pizza van on site, as well as hot dogs, candy floss, popcorn, ice cream, and delicious coffee, all on sale. Everything you need to complete your cinema experience. Plus, the brew house and kitchen will be giving away free samples of their delicious beers, obviously just for the adults, that is. And then, to round off the bank holiday, on Monday the 29th, that's the Monday bank holiday, the well-established Anonymous Festival is returning, now in its 12th year. Running from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m, it will be held in the Borough Gardens in Dorchester. You'll have the opportunity to try your staying power with an inflatable rodeo, test your nerve on some bungee trampolines, push yourself on the inflatable bungee run, and get a henna tattoo. Try your hand at screen printing, create some fabulous crafts and get a glitter tattoo, or have your hair braided. I haven't got much to get braided, but if you've got more hair than I have got, maybe you want to get your hair braided. You'll even have the chance to do a masterclass in how to create a special effect wound. And remember, all the activities as well as entrance is free. So those are 2 wonderful events there happening in Dorset over next weekend. Families, moving on. Families come in all shapes and sizes, including one large family which welcomes other children into their home and gets a huge amount of joy from doing so. Jo Wheeler, who we can see on screen, is a mother of 4 children and is also a foster carer for Dorset Council. And they are keen to encourage others to think about fostering. Jo says her story starts in childhood. Kids were always in and out of our house, and at Christmas we always had lots of people around, so I grew up in a busy house that was thoughtful and caring. I wanted to replicate that for my own family, and I always said we could foster or adopt if we didn't have our own children. However, we had 4 children, so we were busy for a while. But then we moved house 4 years ago, and during lockdown I remember very clearly I was sitting in the garden and I saw an advert for fostering on my phone. It was like that light bulb moment, and I decided there and then that it was time to welcome another child into our home. We have the space, and I thought the rest of the family would want to share what we have. A year and a half in, and we have had 8 children through the door, with the last 6 months devoted to respite or daycare. We have had ups and downs along the way, but then I think that is normal for any family. People sometimes ask me what do we get out of it, and I say it's the little things such as getting a note from school to say your child has done well at a subject they have been struggling with, or them coming home from school with a big smile on their face and asking if they can cook pancakes. All those things that show a child is really settled and at home with you. Jo goes on to say, if anyone is thinking about fostering, I'd say don't hesitate to investigate it. Don't be put off by making that initial phone call. Just be open with things that you're worried about, as they probably won't stop you being a foster carer. Just pick up the phone and make that inquiry. Well, if you are interested in fostering, Dorset Council do want to hear from you. There's always plenty of children, unfortunately, that need temporary foster care. You can get in touch with Dorset Council by telephone on 01305 225568. That's 01305 225568, or by email fosteringinquiries, that's fosteringinquiries at dorsetcouncil.gov.uk. And finally, a national story to finish with this evening in the headlines. UK roads could see self-driving vehicles rolled out as soon as 2025, thanks to new government plans backed by £100 million, which prioritises safety through new laws and create thousands of new jobs in the industry. Some vehicles, including cars, coaches and lorries with self-driving features, could be operated on motorways in the next year, and yesterday plans were set out for new legislation which will allow for the safer, wider rollout of self-driving vehicles by 2025. This will enable the UK to take full advantage of the emerging market of self-driving vehicles, which could create up to 38,000 jobs and could be worth an estimated £42 billion to the economy. The government's vision for self-driving vehicles is backed up by a total of £100 million, with £34 million confirmed for research to support safety developments and inform more detailed legislation. This could include researching the performance of self-driving vehicles in poor weather conditions and how they interact with pedestrians, other vehicles and cyclists. The government also confirmed £20 million as part of the overall £100 million to help kickstart commercial self-driving services and enable businesses to grow and create jobs in the UK, following an existing £40 million investment. Successful projects could help see, for example, groceries delivered to customers by self-driving vehicles or shuttle pods assisting passengers when moving through airports. £6 million will also be used for further market research and to support commercialisation of the technology. Well, there you go. That's all exciting times, and that could be as soon as 2025. Now, that's the end of our headlines tonight. In our first feature this week, it comes from regular contributor Janet Hall, and this week Janet is looking back at the first man who stepped on the moon, Neil Armstrong, as tomorrow marks the 10th anniversary of his death. So here we go, over to Janet to hear about Neil Armstrong.
10 years ago, on August the 25th, 2012, Neil Armstrong, American astronaut on Apollo 11, died. He was the first person to walk on the moon. He had been born in Ohio on August the 5th, 1930. His love for flying started at a young age when his father took him to an air show. From then on, his goal was to become a pilot. At the age of 15, he got his pilot's license. He went on to Purdue University and earned his bachelor's degree in aerospace engineering. He later got his master's degree at the University of Southern California. During college, Neil was called up by the Navy and became a fighter pilot. He fought in the Korean War, where he flew fighters from aircraft carriers. At one point, his plane was hit by enemy fire, but he was able to eject and was safely rescued. So, how did he get from there to become an astronaut? Well, after graduating from college, Armstrong became a test pilot, and he flew all sorts of experimental planes, testing them out to see how well they flew. It was a dangerous job, but very exciting. He flew over 200 different types of aircraft during his career. Armstrong applied to become an astronaut, and in September of 1962 he was selected for the NASA Astronaut Corps. He had to go through a series of harsh physical tests, but he passed and was soon part of the new 9, or second group of 9 NASA astronauts. His first trip into space was aboard the Gemini 8. He was the command pilot of the space capsule and piloted the first successful docking of 2 vehicles in space. The mission was cut short, however, when the capsule began to roll. On December the 23rd, 1968, Neil was offered the command of the Apollo 11. This would be the first manned landing on the moon. This was an exciting time for the entire country. The United States was in a race with the Soviet Union to put the first man on the moon. If the flight was successful, Armstrong would be that man. After months of practice and preparation, the Apollo 11 spacecraft launched from Kennedy Space Center in Florida on July the 16th, 1969. There was one scary moment in the flight, where Armstrong had to take over manual control of the landing. This wasn't the plan, and if the landing took too long, would leave the crew short on fuel. But the landing was successful, and they had around 40 seconds of fuel remaining. Upon landing, Armstrong said, "Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. After landing, Armstrong was the first to leave the craft and walk on the moon. The historic date was July the 21st, 1969. His famous words upon being the first man on the moon were, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." The three pilots arrived back on Earth on July the 24th. They landed in the Pacific Ocean and returned heroes. Here are some facts you might not know about Neil Armstrong. 600 million people watched the first moon walk on TV. The footprints made by Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin are still on the moon. The dust is thick, but there isn't any wind to remove them. He was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest honour a civilian can earn from the US government. But whatever you remember him for, his greatest and most lasting achievement will always be that he was the first man to walk on the moon.
Thank you very much there, Janet, for sharing with us some information and some facts on Neil Armstrong, as tomorrow sees the 10th anniversary of his death. A truly historic character, one of those names that people just won't forget, will they? Now, our second feature tonight is on something completely different. I'm sure you agree that we live in a fantastic place down here on the Jurassic Coast. And one of the aspects of the Jurassic Coast, of course, is the amazing fossils that have been found by people, and well-known people going back as far as that very famous lady Mary Anning, who we've mentioned on this programme many times. Well, there are a number of well-known collectors today along the Jurassic Coast, and one such collector is a gentleman called Steve Etches from Kimmeridge. Now, several years ago, Steve managed to get some amazing lottery funding to build a special building to home his collection of thousands of fossils that he collected from the bay at Kimmeridge, and that's called the Etches Collection building in Kimmeridge itself. Now, local fossil hunter from Regis, Brandon Lennon, has produced a video on a visit to the Etches Collection in Kimmeridge entitled Fossil Hunters Monster Marine Reptile Finds. It gives a very good introduction to what you might find at the Etches Collection, and with Brandon's permission we are sharing this with you tonight, and I thought it might wet your whistle as somewhere you might like to go and visit if you haven't been to Kimmeridge and been to see the Etches Collection and the wonderful work that Steve has done there. So here we go, here's Brandon's video.
We're going to look at fossils today found by Steve Etches along the Jurassic Coast. I will film for you the amazing marine reptile fossils like ichthyosaurs that are in the Etches collection. Here's a backbone of an ichthyosaur in my hand. Can you see how small the single vertebra looks in comparison to the larger Regis vertebrae I found at low tide? How am I possibly going to fit that ichthyosaur in my lounge room if I find the rest of the thing? Well, as I've said before, the ichthyosaurs grew up to 60 feet, swam as fast as a tuna fish and ate anything that moved back in the Jurassic. What an amazingly large size set of vertebrae I found there at low tide. I've saved those from the destruction of the sea. The sea's actions would have eroded those completely away if I hadn't brought those back. And now we are going down as a family day out to Kimmeridge for us to see Steve's visitor centre. Well, here are the actual tickets that we've been given, a nice family gift, and I can't wait to see the Etches Collection. I was invited in the early 90s to go and see the collection by Martin Foster. I'd found a big ammonite for his collection that was 65 centimetres across, but I never managed to get down to the Etches Collection then in the early 90s when the gales were roaring in. I was down at the beach at low tide. Here we are at the entrance to Steve's museum. Let's head in and see what he has found. I bet he's got some really big marine reptile finds. And there we go, look at those backbones from those ancient sea creatures. Wonderful for the kids to see, very hands-on. I'm going to walk up the steps now and look there through that door. I can see some wonderful glass display cases with prehistoric fish in. A fish was a tasty meal back in the Jurassic to a lot of marine reptiles, I expect, and therefore we don't find many fish down at Lyme Regis that are very well intact, whereas Steve's got some wonderful ones here. I'm going to do a little pan round of the museum display. It's just part of his grand display, so don't not come down here and see the rest of it. It's a fantastic thing to behold, and Steve has special permission to look for the fossils at Kimmeridge Bay and extract them with all his knowledge to preserve them and present them to people. And here, presented by the kids, is a fly. They've just whisked off one of the windowsills. They've stopped looking at fossils and they're scanning that fly in to see its detail. What a great day out, real good fun. The kids are absolutely captivated. It's amazing to see Steve too down in the foyer. As we left, we walked down this street and found that we could get down to the beach. So we thought we may as well go down to Kimmeridge Bay and just spot some fossils down there and see what we could see. It's a really nice day, it's dry, and we've got a lovely footpath to walk along down to the seaside. So follow us as we go down to the seaside and we'll go and spot some fossils, hopefully, down at low tide. Well, there really has been an amazing drought in August. This is August of 2022, and look at the stubble in the fields there, and also to the grass that I'm walking along, just how dry it is as we push on down towards the seaside. Not a very long walk and a very flat walk too, so it's really, really good fun just to have a nice stretching of the legs as we go down to Kimmeridge Bay. Look at the notice boards there and what they say, and we'll head down now onto the beach and show you some of the features, the geological features, and even down here in the distance you can see a pillbox that they used. That pillbox there they used to defend the area from attack in the Second World War. And look at those lovely marine sediments there. Well, I'm just panning around now in Kimmeridge Bay to show you the rest of these geological features, and you can see down there in the distance that headland. A lovely ammonite we've spotted too with the kids, with the sea just pushing over it. It's nice for other people who are doing some paddling to see that ammonite too, so we'll leave it there in place for everyone to have a look at. We're going to have to head home soon with the tide coming in. I hope you've enjoyed this short video that we made on our road trip, and we're going to take the road home now along the coast and head back through to Lyme Regis. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We are Lyme Regis Fossils.
Well, thank you very much there, Brandon, for that video on his visit to the Etches collection in Kimmeridge. Now, I've had the pleasure of visiting the Etches collection several times and actually doing some work for the staff there, and it's well worth a visit. And the nice thing is that not only is there the collection, but you can actually see Steve Etches working when he's actually there. He's not there all the time, but a lot of the time he's there working, preserving some of the fossils. And he's got literally thousands, and they are some really big things. So if you want to go along, it's just on the main road as you drive through Kimmeridge. There is a website, it's www.theetchescollection.org. And you'll find out all about the collection on there and the work that Steve does. And of course, do like and follow Brandon's fossil videos as well. That you can find his fossil videos on YouTube. You just search for Lyme Regis Fossils, or you can follow him on Instagram at Lyme Regis Fossils. And I'm sure we'll be hearing from Brandon again because he's got some wonderful videos on some of the work he's been doing along the Jurassic coast and some of the finds that he's had, which are also quite amazing. He's a bit of a modern Mary Anning too, I think, really. Now, next Sunday, the 28th of August, local charity MV Freedom are holding a sponsored swim at Newton's Cove. Now, this is something they've done before. This year it is from 6 o'clock to 7:30, the swim itself, and registration is from 5:30. Now, MV Freedom, I'm sure you know, exists to give access to the sea for people living with disabilities. And during the season, they do 2 trips a day, 5 days a week. So lots and lots and lots of people get out to go out in the boat, to go out to sea and to give them access to the sea. And the wonderful thing for the last few years is the number of dolphins that we've had in and around Weymouth. And they've got some fantastic photos on the MV Freedom website of pictures of dolphins that they've taken when they're out on the boat. Now, it's a great charity. They have a fantastic boat that's just a couple of years old, and I've also been out on that as well, and it's a wonderful facility. Maybe you can help them. Now, if you enjoy swimming and you would like to have a swim, raise some funds for MV Freedom, they would certainly like to hear from you. Now, I've got a bit of film to share with you from the previous MV Freedom sponsored swim, just to wet your whistle, and we'll make sure you've got the information at the end so that you can contact MV Freedom and go along next Sunday to support them on their sponsored swim. Right, sorry, just to point out on that video it said 5:30 to 7:30. Sorry, it said 5 to 7. It is 5:30 to 7:30. Registration at 5:30. Now, it's an evening to raise funds, and it's for all abilities. And basically, you just get into the water, swim out around a buoy, and come back and raise some money. Now, they have got safety provided by Jurassic Jet Skis, so you know, it's all been organised properly. And if you want more information, either go onto Facebook and search for MV Freedom and look for their Facebook page, or go onto their website at www.mvfreedom.co.uk, where you'll find all the information you want, and also contact details if you need to ask any questions. Now it's time for our film review for this week, and we're going over to hear from regular contributor Andrew Wright for this week's film review.
Welcome to Wyke Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This week marked the Western release of the highly anticipated Japanese anime film Dragon Ball Super Superhero. It is the 21st Dragon Ball film and is a sequel to 2018's Dragon Ball Super Broly. The film features the return of the anime's main cast and revolves around protagonist Son Goku's son, Son Gohan, as he teams up with his former teacher Piccolo as they go on a mission to save the world from the newly formed Red Ribbon Army. Critics are praising the film for its nostalgia, but criticising its animations. I too criticise the use of 3D CGI as the primary animation of the movie, as it makes the film look more like a video game. American box office predictions are hoping that the film provides a jolt that prevents the box office from reaching another low after last weekend's $67.3 million. Another film hoping to keep the box office afloat is Idris Elba's new film Beast, which follows a widowed father who attempts to protect his daughters from a murderous lion on the African plains. Beast releases next Friday in the UK. This week was the series premiere of the newest entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel Studios' She-Hulk Attorney at Law is the final Phase 4 TV series on Disney Plus and stars Orphan Black's Tatiana Maslany as Bruce Banner's cousin Jennifer Walters, who becomes She-Hulk after a car crash results in her blood getting contaminated with the Hulk's blood, resulting in her transformation into She-Hulk while she tries to navigate her job as a lawyer who specializes in cases involving superhumans. The series features the return of several MCU actors in guest roles, including Mark Ruffalo as Hulk, Tim Roth as Abomination, Benedict Wong as Wong, and Charlie Cox as Daredevil, with other MCU cameos teased. The first trailer was criticised by fans for its use of CGI, however early critic reviews have applauded the series. From the first episode, my opinion was that it showed off a good origin story for She-Hulk, but that the reveal of She-Hulk to the public in the final scene felt rushed. Next week is the premiere of the brand new docu-series Welcome to Wrexham. Welcome to Wrexham follows American actor Rob McElhenney, best known for his role in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and Canadian-American actor Ryan Reynolds, who is best known for his comedic action roles, as they take over management of Wrexham AFC, the third oldest professional football team in the world. The series will air on Disney Plus in the UK due to Disney having a production hand in the series. 2 seasons of the show have been confirmed, with 2 episodes airing a week for the first season. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will talk about the Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much there, Andrew. Andrew, as you said, will be back with us next week. Now it's that time in the programme where we go across to the Met Office and we hear what the National Weather Forecast has in store for us. And this week we're joined by Aidan McGivern.
Hi there. Compared with last weekend, this weekend is looking cooler, more breezy, and there will be some showers around. We've seen showers to the north. Now the area of rain across northern England sinks south. It will be a showery feature, but it moves into North Wales, the North Midlands during the evening. And really it comes to a rest about central parts of the UK. To the south, clear spells. To the north, clear spells as well, but further blustery showers push into western Scotland, north of the central belt, and where we get some clear spells. Fresh start once again on Sunday, certainly towards the north. Temperatures are starting to creep up again towards the southwest. It's beginning to turn a bit more humid. But a bright start actually on Sunday for many. There'll be further showers through parts of the Midlands and Wales where that front has come to a rest, and they start to move north again during the day on Sunday. Showers across central and northern Scotland, meanwhile, tend to ease. A better chance of mostly dry and bright weather by the afternoon here. Lighter winds as well make it feel a bit more pleasant. And to the south, actually a lot of dry and bright weather, some sunshine, but the clouds are thickening across Cornwall. And by late afternoon, some outbreaks of rain are starting to move in here. The southwesterly breeze will make it feel more humid, but actually for many, temperatures are down a degree or two from Saturday's maximum temperatures, and the rain across North Wales into the North Midlands becomes more persistent and steadier as we go into Sunday evening. Sunday evening brings that rain into the west, and that rain then travels across the country during Monday, turning to showers, but there'll be some heavy rain at times, I think, in places, and it will also feel a bit more humid.
Thank you very much there, Aidan, for the national weather forecast. And looking at the local weather for this week, we can see that there's possibility of rain from Sunday through to Tuesday, but those temperatures are still holding up quite nicely, not quite as hot as they have been, but comfortably warm for a summer's day, with sunny spells and the odd cloud. So hopefully a nice week ahead for everyone. Now, moving to our What's On to see what's coming up in the next few weeks. Well, first of all, in Wyke Regis itself this week, on Wednesday, that's the 24th, Wyke Regis Library is hosting the Summer Reading Challenge Lego workshop called Tall Towers. It's a hands-on workshop designed to explore what it takes to build a tall tower that won't topple, by exploring simple concepts in maths and physics. Now, it's suitable for those 6 and above. It runs from 10:30 to 12 noon, and that's on Wednesday the 24th. If you're into Lego and you've got children 6 plus who want to learn how to build tall towers, then Wyke Regis Library. If you want more information, give them a call on 01305 760 191. That's 01305 760 191. On Friday this week, the 26th, Chapel A Community Play Garden has a family fun day from 12 noon to 2 p.m. with bouncy castles, samba dancing, arts and crafts, and balloononic. Whatever that is, it says come and find out to see what that is. Further information is available from Claire Sutton on 07453 369 191. That's Claire Sutton on 07453 369 191. Coming up at Weymouth Pavilion, 21st of August. That's tomorrow. Catch us if you can, a musical extravaganza. 25th of August, the Rod Stewart Songbook. 26th of August, Meatloaf Tribute Act. 27th of August, Totally Blondie. 31st of August, that'll be the day. And 2nd of September, Uptown Joel, the music of Billy Joel. Box office at the Pavilion for tickets and inquiries is 01305 783 225 or weymouthpavilion.com online. The No Fort on Monday night, the 22nd, and the following Monday night, the 29th at 5:30, Jazz Rock and Blues session with the Robbie McIntosh Band, plus special guests Mickey B and the Night Owls. Do have a look at the No Fort website for information on that. Also, 25th of September, Pause for Fort. First time in history, the No Fort is teaming up with Dog Friendly Social and Watercombe Dogs to bring you Pause for Fort. Basically, it's dogs friendly businesses and a dog friendly business awards, followed by a dog show like no other, it says. Royal Manor Theatre are still planning for their bunch of amateurs play, and that's coming up, I think that's in October. I haven't actually got the date there, but do pop along to their website, 19th of November, I can see it, royalmanortheatre.co.uk. Of course, if you've got anything for our What's On pages, do let us know, news@wykeregis.tv. And just a reminder, Arts Reach, I've got their mischief and hilarity in their rip-roaring Shakespearean comedy, fit for all the family. The 3-inch Fools are hitting the road with this summer with Shakespeare's comedy, Twelfth Night. We didn't mention it last week. It is at Sanford Orcus, and if you want to know where that is, it's just north of Sherborne. Sunday, tomorrow at 7 p.m. is outside, so do take a brolly. Picnics are welcome from 6 o'clock. Licensed bar is available. It's suitable for the whole family. Lasts about 2 hours. And if you want to know about tickets, it's 01963 220208, 01963 220208. Now, I think with these Arts Reach events, they are held throughout rural Dorset in some of the smaller villages, and I think that's wonderful because it does give you the opportunity not only to go and see something a little bit different, because Arts Reach have a massive range of different things they do, but also to explore some of the local villages and some of those less well-known places across Dorset. So there we go. That's something for you to think about tomorrow. Church services tomorrow. All Saints Church at Wyke, 0800. Communion service, 9:30 communion service, and 11 o'clock at St Edmunds at Lane House. Don't forget, of course, our other programme tonight, our quiz at 7:30 in sort of 40 minutes' time. Feed will go live about 7:15, and you will be most welcome to join us. That's free. It's fun for all the family. Looking at traffic and travel this week, there are a few roadworks. Roadworks this week with traffic control, Chickerell Road and Radipole Lane. Other work happening at Wyke Road, Marlborough Avenue, Markham Avenue, Knightsdale Road, Sedgefield Close, Goldcroft Avenue, Greenhill, Coombe Avenue, Kings Road, Dorset Road, Clarence Road, St George's Road, Cortlands Road and 4 Acres. Now, with the rail travel, as we said, there has been industrial action again today, and there will be disruption tomorrow. So the best message really on rail travel tomorrow and for the week ahead is to check before travelling and make sure that you know if the service you want is running. Now that brings us to the end of this week's programme, and just a reminder, if you have any news or events to share with us or any questions for us, do contact us all. That's Janet, Andrew, or myself via our email address, news@wykeridges.tv. We would love to hear from you, particularly if you've got any news for us or any events coming up. If not, we all look forward to being back with you next Saturday at 6 o'clock for the bank holiday weekend programme. Now, do enjoy your week. Enjoy the weather. Hopefully you won't get too much rain, but enough to keep that garden going, because it's been a bit dry lately, but you're going to get some sun as well. So, good night. I look forward to being with you again next week. Have a good week.